Hey, good evening, my Facebook friends. It's your girl, Chanel Monique, Chanel Monique, ChanelMonique.com. Again, Chanel Monique, Chanel Monique, Chanel Monique, ChanelMonique.com. I got to say it one more time, Chanel Monique, Chanel Monique, ChanelMonique.com. I say it three times because a three-strand cord is not easily broken. And that's me, as you guys know. I'm not easily broken. Tonight, we're coming to you with Sister to Sister show. Come on, somebody. Sister to Sister. We all need a sister with by our side. And so tonight, I have some amazing, anointed, powerful guests that's going to be coming on tonight, and that's going to be sharing their vision on sisterhood and how it's important to have sisters, good sisters in your circle. Hold on, let me say it one more time. Good sisters in your circle. But you guys, hi, my sister. Miss Palmer, listen, go vote for her if voting is still open for her insurance company. That's my sister, you know, and we are sisters. And so we in this together. We can't do it without each other. We have some of the most highest buying power out there in the world. Sisters do. Us Black women, if we collaborate together, if we support each other, if we, oh God, love on each other, if we do the things that God called us to do, I tell you, watch things happen. Watch favor and prosperity follow you. I'm going to tell you that when you align with the word of God and what he tell you to do for your sister, you listen, you would never have to beg for bread. And that's for sure. And so thank you, sister. We're gonna get started because I don't want to be before you long. I want to bring my sister up. She's a wonderful, amazing woman of God. I'm gonna tell you, she sent me her bio. I ain't got my contacts on, so we listen. I'm gonna tell you about what she mean to me. Because that's more authentic. You understand? You can read all the accolades of somebody, but word of mouth is always best. I tell you, when somebody can tell you some great things that a person has done. She does this camp in Durham. Oh my God, that touched my heart. When I seen it, I said, whatever you need me to do to volunteer. Before I even knew she did a camp, me and her met online. And ever since then, we talked. And when we talked, it was just like two, listen, iron sharpening iron. And so when I spoke to my sister and seen that we had kindred spirits, I said, you know what? That's a good sister. And so ever since then, me and her spoke. She does a lot. She preaches, she teaches. I mean, she's all over vending, supporting. Now, she supports everybody events. Yep, she does. Yep. And so that's my sister. And I love that because that's me. That's me supporting one another regardless. And we don't look for it back because let me just tell you what you do for somebody else, God will do for you. I know for fact. And he never failed yet. And so, hey, Kishmir from Chicago, my girl from Chicago. Hey, Angela, that's my girl here from North Carolina. And so we want to go ahead without further ado and bring my sister on. She's an amazing woman of God. Her name is Pastor NaToya Richardson. Can y'all give it up for her? Show her some love. Give her some love, 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 love. Like y'all love on me, love on her. Hey, sis.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes, we had to have you, sis, because you are you're an icon in your own right. I'm gonna just tell you that now. You might not think it, but us sisters out here adore you. What you're doing, oh no, what you're doing some amazing things, giving back to the community and single moms. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Pastor NaToya Richardson. I'm the founder. Well, I relaunched my father's ministry 2018. And so I took a break maybe around 2022, and kind of just start evangelizing and doing more outreach in the community. So I did the church for like 6 years, but God led me to do other things. So I recently relaunched rap session. So right now we're doing, as you stated, a summer camp. It's a free summer camp, just to give back to our community and help single moms and help people, because the camp sometimes can be expensive. So we wanted to give something to the community that's affordable, for working moms and single moms that that probably can't afford summer camp. And so that's pretty much what I do. Have NaToya Richardson enterprise, where I sell different things like pocket mirrors, whole socks, pretty much everything, beauty cosmetic. And I'm a new author. I launched my book last year, so I'm super excited about that. I've been on radio shows, hosting and promoting my business and that type of thing. So I'm grateful and honored for the things that God has done for me in the ministry and the doors that He has opened for me in ministry. Even on tonight, you giving me the opportunity to come on and be a part. And I appreciate you for all that you do in the ministry, and how you have been a blessing to the women, and how you've been a blessing to my life.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That's what we're supposed to do. God blesses me to be a blessing, and we have to keep blessing each other. And I thank God for you, sis, because you have changed my vision on when we talked on doing this. Remember I talked to you, I said, I'm done, I'm finished. this ain't what I want to do. But when you talk to me and you show me how humble and things that you've been through, and then and how you overcame them, and now you're an author. Tell us the name of your book and how we can get a copy of it, because we need to get a copy of that book. Let me put it in the chat as well.
So the name of my book is called The Hidden Treasures in Me, and you can purchase it off of Amazon.
Off of Amazon. Okay, so y'all go get, it's called The Hidden Treasures in Me. Tell us what inspired you to write that book. What inspired you?
Life experiences. I was a teenage mom. I had my daughter at the age of 16. And just kind of things that I've gone through in life. So I shared that in my book, and how becoming a teenage mom at an early age, and kind of living the street life, if you have would say, how that could have derailed my destiny, and some traumatic events that I had experienced in my life. I was sexually assaulted at one time, and how that really affected me mentally, and it took years for me to overcome that situation. And so my book is pretty much talking about how to overcome trauma, and sometimes trauma can cause you to not see your hidden treasures, meaning like your gifts and your talents. And so when I allowed hurt and shame and disappointment to cloud my the treasures that I had in me, like my gifts and calls. I didn't know who I was. I had no identity at a young age. But once I got to a point where I healed and got a strong relationship with God, God began to show me my calling, my gifts, and what I was called to do in the land. So my book is pretty much talking about how you overcome traumatic events, and understanding your worth, and understand that we all have something to give in the earth.
That's right. And I love that, because I too was a mother at 16. I was outcast, and I wanted someone that could help me develop my gifts. But every time I would turn around, I guess they seen, that I was outspoken. If it was wrong, I'm telling you, because I wanted to walk right. I wanted to do right. Like, if you teach me to do right, I'm gonna do right. This is it. So don't teach me one thing and then say do as I say is not as I do, as our family always say it growing up. And I have to like I was in the streets as well, and God knows it like it took my life. But when God has a plan for you and a purpose for your life, ain't nothing gonna stop what God wants to live. Like you, sis, He wanted you to live because you have a purpose here to help these children that you're helping. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that start? Because I want you to tell about all the great things and the goodness of God that's going on in your life.
So I'm an educator, so I've been in the education field for over 17 years. So working with children has always been my passion. And one night in a dream, it came to me in a dream actually, and so I was already pretty much doing events in the community. So, but one night in my dream, the Lord gave me the vision and gave me the name. And so I took it to my pastor at the time and shared the vision, and she gave me the blessings and okay to launch my nonprofit organization, but it's designed to help children from all backgrounds, children who are struggling. In school or whatever. We it's for all children, boys and girls. So our goal is to empower, encourage, lift, get them a safe place. Just help them in today's society.
And that's what we need. We need to help our children because they're dying by awful rate these days. All you see is 17, 16, 15, and it's better to train them than to repair them. Have to repair
Right,
them, when they get older because they don't want to listen to nothing we say because they already have a vision in their mind of what life is, and nothing else can make it better. And so I
right.
commend you on that. I do. I always love the children. I've had, 15 cousins I used to take care of. And so, I always volunteer. And you work with single moms as well. So that's another plus, because it's hard on single moms. I know me,
Mhm,
16, it was hard on me. Um,
mhm.
and that's a breath of fresh air because people are not trying to help. They trying to cut
Right.
everything out for to help those that have made mistakes. It ain't
Mhm.
about their mistakes, it's about their future, where God is taking them. If they get a little help along the way, and they can make it, it could be a different story. So I thank God for you on doing that as well. Now, I wanted to ask you, you're very big on sisterhood. That's one of your biggest things. So, how does true sisterhood look like for you? For you.
I would say true sisterhood looks like what it looks like to me is crowning your sister, fixing her crown. Oftentimes, um, we get caught up in not really supporting one another. I feel like sisterhood is a community of women coming together, um, empowering, uplifting, sharing life experience. It's a way of bonding with your sisters and being there for them, being that listening ear for your sister when they need you. I feel like sisterhood to me, it's a place, it should be a safe haven. When your sisters are going through, you come together and you help your sister through her storm and not pass judgment and not, make your sisters feel like, they're wrong if they're going through a storm. And when they get out of, and sometimes when you're dealing with hurt and when you're dealing with pain and you vent to maybe they might have a moment because we all going to have moments. And
Yeah.
when you see to have a moment, don't use that opportunity as a way to shaming them. And
Yeah.
I feel like sisterhood is a place where you uplift them and you be there for them and you cover them, even if they are wrong or even if They, act out of emotions, because we all at some point in time going to act out of emotions, because we deal with a lot as sisters, as women, period. We wear a lot of hats, and we have gone through traumas. We have been through life experience that could have broke us mentally, financially. We have gone through a lot. In life, just, and it goes back to history of what women has gone through, and with women's fighting for women's rights, and women's liberations, and all those type of things that we have gone through as women. We have pretty much been beat down in the world, and still have to stay strong, and still have to show up mentally and emotionally to take care of our families. So sisterhood is a place where we come to, and just uplift each other, encourage one another. It shouldn't be a place where we judging, where we are competing against each other, where we trying to outdo one another, when we envying one another. That's what my sisterhood should be like. It should be where we come together, love one another, do what we can to support, because it's power when women come together in unity. It's power when we can come together and unite.
Yeah.
It's a movement that happens when women come together. We can make a powerful impact, not only in our homes, in our community, but in the world. That we can make a major impact when we come together as one. So that's my outlook on sisterhood: just loving each other, being there for one another, and not causing shame, and not laughing at each other pain, and getting excited when we see our sister going through a storm or going through a hard time. But being that listening ear, being that helping hand, and having empathy for your sister. So that's my intake on sisterhood.
And that is so right, sis. I'm the same way. Like I don't want to see my sister go through nothing, because I don't want to go through nothing. If you've been through battles and trials and tribulations in your life, you don't know what it takes for your sister to stand tall and come back and make it through that storm. And so we have to love on our sisters, because you never know what her mind could be thinking right now, from the past trauma that she has experienced. And so, with us coming together, binding together, showing each other love, that is powerful. I mean, that's what the enemy don't want. He don't want relationships with us. He wants to
Mhm.
keep tearing us down and separating us. And that's only witchcraft, when it's separating us. Hey, that ain't God. God is love. So when you love on your sister, and you have to learn, if you want God to forgive you, you got to forgive your sister. Not saying y'all got to be the best of friends, but if
Right.
you feel like it was you were offended, go to your sister. That if you got a fault in your eye, go to your sister and confront your sister, and let her know that kind of hits you. And that's where, these trauma, like you said, the trauma with growing up, we never could express how we feel. We never could go and say, well, Uncle Boo Boo raped us, or Uncle Boo Boo touched us. We had to get up and put it up under the rug. And we
Right.
had to fight. We had to fight. Oh, shush up. You 16 and pregnant. Be quiet. You understand what I'm saying? And nobody can hang around you because you too grown. And it was just such a things that would have traumatized us from a young age to now, that our sisters, have to get over and heal. And that's the most important thing, because you got to heal. It's time to start healing those hearts. That's what I've seen you do. You've healed your heart. How hard was that? Like, you didn't know I was going to ask that, but I just had to ask.
No, that's fine. I'm very transparent. It's very hard. Sometimes people think that healing is an easy process, and it's not an easy process, because when you're going through your healing, you have to face those things that you bury. You have to, and not only you see yourself, you have to revisit those traumatic moments. So you have to sit in that hurt. You have to sit in, all the things that you have been through. You have to let it come back, and you have to deal with it. And once you really face it head on, I guess is what I'm saying. You have to face it head on. Once you face it head on, then God can start the healing process. And when you go through the healing process, then you can go out and be a helper to your sister. Because sometimes when you're not healed, you can sometimes it just open doors to jealousy, open doors to competition, and you see things from the lens of your sister being a competition seller, seeing your sister as, okay, this is my sister, let's come together and collaborate. You can't collaborate because you're not healed. But once you go through the healing process, then you can see things through the lenses of, let's sit down at the table. How can we come together and be helpers one to another? So healing is very, very, very key. And not only in women, but in relationships. When you heal, you can have an effective relationship even in with the men. So healing is very important because you never want to take your pain out on people who didn't cause that pain. And a lot of times, we lash out or take our anger out on people who didn't cause the pain. And so it's very vital and key that first you have to be honest that you hurt, because a lot of times, people are not honest that they are hurting. They're not honest that, hey, this hurt me. I feel bad. They, say, wear a mask. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm just going to keep going. And, and you miserable, and you unhappy, and you're not living life to the fullness because you have not taken out the time to be honest with yourself and be honest with God to say, God, I'm hurting. This hurt me. And I need you to heal me. I can't go to the next level. I can't go to the next move if I'm not healed. I can't really be effective in the kingdom if I'm not healed. Because what we don't want to do is bleed on people. We don't want the people, to bury our pain. We have to heal because we don't want to cause more harm than good. Because when you're not healed, we can cause more harm than good.
And a lot of people can see when you're not healed. The things that come out your mouth speak volumes when you're not healed and when you're hating or when you're bleeding. I read a post on Facebook. I don't want to put it up, but I love when I see a post. If you got to get up on the pulpit and talk about people, then you ain't a preacher. And it was to me like I've seen it done, people doing that, putting people down for the same sin that was swept in the closet. And if they open their closet to all them skeletons, they'll see it too. But it was just, some of the things that I see, I just be like, okay, God, forgive them, move on. Cause like Renee said, hey, Renee, hey, Karen. Karen Sutton on here, Miss Dr. Roxanne is on. Listen, thank you, sisters, for supporting me. I tell you, but like Renee said, you have to heal for you, not for them.
Absolutely.
And healing has something to do with sickness. When I found that out, that's when I started forgiving right then. Right? What? I gonna make me sick. Hold on, I forgive you. I'm moving on. Nope, I ain't missing God because of that. Nope, won't do it. He might call me home tonight. I gotta make sure I'm right.
Absolutely.
I'll be trying to laugh out of people because I'm really a clown. Like I love to have fun because God has been so good. And as my situation, I mean, just to be able to do this show tonight and have you agree to the show is so heartwarming to me because you don't know me from a can of paint and you agreed to say yes to me and come on tonight not knowing what to expect from this. So I thank God for you. And we want to talk about are your actions, Miss Karen said, are your actions showing that you're healed? They do have to show that you're healed, Miss Karen. Be in a same event or because some of us going to cross paths And if we don't like our sister, we gonna have to get it together with ourselves first, because our sister might not have nothing going on with that sister, but it might be us that has something going on with ourselves, and be
Right.
able to show that sister love because people are watching. You don't
Right.
understand. It's messy, mean girls out there still because they don't know the Lord. If they knew the Lord and how good the Lord was and what he would do for you when you free and clear, I'm gonna tell you. And but yeah, we definitely have to show it in our actions when we're around people. And so we want to definitely continue to show. Now, how this is we leading up into our next question. How your experience been with sisterhood, positive or negative? How has it been? Because you're so positive. So
Good. I'm grateful for the
everybody just love my sister, Pastor NaToya. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. So if you don't know, she got some old saints, some older saints, some seasoned saints behind her. So they drop down on their knees and pray when she called on the name of Jesus. So come on now. Can you tell us?
grateful. I have had some great experience with sisterhood. I'm grateful for the women that God has placed in my life over the years. Even Sister Karen, we come from the same home church, and we was a great sister. Always been a great sister to me. We always had a great bond. So I'm grateful for my spiritual mothers, Apostle Tangela Richardson and Apostle Golden, and my mom. So I'm grateful. I'm here today, because of the women that God has placed in my life, even in the time of my brokenness, in the time when I was discovering myself. God placed women in my path that poured into me, that lifted me up and encouraged me, and kept me on the right path. So I'm grateful for the women that God has placed in my life, women like yourself. I'm grateful for positive, good women, genuine women, loving women that's really got a heart for other people. So I have had a great experience with women. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Indeed, Miss Karen said, I just love Miss Karen as well. Hey, Reverend Maddie. That's my Reverend Maddie. She covers me from Virginia. She sends me texts every morning, every night. We met at a pastor's event. So see, I used to go to pastors' events because I knew I was in leadership. Like I knew that God had called me higher. And so I used to go and hang out with the seasoned saints, the ones that can give me some good old advice. So and she gave me some good old advice. They gave me, poured into me in Virginia, the pastors group. And ever since then, me and her has been friends ever since. So Reverend Maddie, love you. Reverend Maddie, love you. I had to give her props on here too. I give people their honor where honor is due. Because you got to give people that flowers while they're here. No today, this next minute, nor tomorrow is promised, and that's what our sisters have to understand. You want to leave here with your heart right. You want to be able to go to glory and hear good and well done, faithful servant. I preach that because I believe that if you got stony hearts or if you got hate in your hearts, tell them about that, sister. They not reaching the glory. They're not getting to the other side.
And a lot of
You
people
hear
think
from
hard.
time.
They can just live in the type of way, have all this alt and malice in their heart, and think God is pleased with that. But the Bible said no sin would enter in. And but a lot of the devil has really corrupt a lot of minds, and they think they going to heaven anyhow, but not so.
Not
Not so.
so. And so we as sisters want to, be your sister that wants you to go to heaven. If you ain't got a friend that want to see you can pray for you behind the scenes or want to see you go to heaven, that ain't friend. I mean, if they keep you in sin and stumbling and falling all the time, because it's a lot of that going on the internet. But with our sisters, with Sisters to Sisters and the events that we're having, with all the sisters that are collaborating these days, we're all collaborating. We're all going to each other events. We're all
Right.
bringing friends, telling friends about it. We're all doing things of, showing love. Like if my sister win, I win. I don't
Right.
need to be in the forefront. I don't need to be out on stage. I want to see my sister win.
Mhm.
And so what causes envy and competition amongst women? What do you think causes?
Being unhealed and not knowing who you are. Um, I think a lot of times it comes from life experiences, going back to dealing with traumatic events, relationships sometimes can cause the upbringing, childhood that can, a lot of that plays into insecurities and competition and jealousy and not really knowing who you are. And it goes back into healing, and once you heal, then you would see things from a different lens. But a lot of competition, I feel like it just comes from not knowing who you are. And
Mhm.
once you really know who you are, then you become confident in what in who God has called you to be. And we have to understand that we all have something to offer. We are not here just by chance. We are here on earth because we have something to give into the earth. But the enemy sometimes will cloud our judgment into thinking that we don't have anything to give, or sister so and so is better than me, or sister so and so better than me. But we all have different talents and different gifts. We all have our own journey. We all are on different journey, and we have to understand our own journey and understand what we are called to do. And once you understand what you called to do, it would tone down the jealousy and the competition. But a lot of times it comes because a lot of women don't know who they are.
Come
You
on.
know, they don't know their identity. They don't know what they have really been called to do. And a lot of has been, they've been beat down in life, been around negative people, been around negative environments. So it's important that you surround yourself around positive people. When you surround yourself around positive people, they can help you. They can pull out those things that you didn't see within yourself. So it's vital and it's key that you surround yourself with good, godly people.
That is so right. Good godly people that'll give it to you, cause
Mhm.
they give it to you wrong. They got to be able to correct you when you're wrong. Um,
Yeah.
Correction is key, because like you said, some of us are living off of trauma
Mhm.
from past relationships. Like, in Facebook, I want you guys to chime in. What causes jealousy, envy, and competition amongst women? Because I find, regardless, the thing is with women, like you said, they have to know who they are. And
Mhm.
God has given all of us gifts and talents. And
Mhm.
no talent, nobody can steal your blessing. But just
Absolutely.
because we do the same thing doesn't mean I'm in competition with my sister. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Just because my name or something might be the same, it does not mean that I'm in competition. I'm competing with my sister. I had a negative eye of my
Right.
sister. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so some of us have to understand that we are sent here with our own gifts, talents, identity. We're get
Right.
sent here. He knows the hairs on our head. He
Mhm.
knows before he sets us up before the beginning of the world who we were gonna be. He didn't send you out there. You being jealous is questioning God. Because
Right.
he said you're beautifully and wonderfully made. Hold on, wonderfully made. So you ain't made like nobody else. Your
Right.
handprint is different from someone else. Your
Mhm.
your your walk, your life is different. Your path, the shoes that you wore to get to this point. Come on, somebody, because I know nobody wouldn't want to walk in my shoes. God knows you'll give them right back. Jesus.
Okay.
They would. You might think they glisten and glitter now. You be like, oh no, girl, come get this, come get this, get over here now. I can't. This ain't what I want. And same thing with my sister, Pastor NaToya. I wouldn't want to try to walk in your sister's shoes, sis. You know, just because you're an author, don't make me in competition with you. Just
Right,
because you sell products and services at, vending, you're not my competition. You're my sister. Let me support and go buy one of my sister's books. Let me go
right,
buy one of my sister's products out from her table. Let me support her. Um,
right.
Miss Karen had an event this weekend, and it was a networking event. It was and it was amazing, because I went and bought a pillow that says he has a plan for me. Come on, somebody. Then I went and bought some butter bar before I left. You understand what I'm saying? For some it was that what's that sea moss butter bar for my skin to help with my skin. Come on, listen. We have to support our sisters. I wanted to support my sister because she's supporting me, and we collaborate together. We have the Elite Business Women Award show coming up now. Since I don't mind if we're gonna go back to it, but I don't know. I want to tell you about that because that was this is the question we asked. Um, I had the Elite Business Women Award show back in 2022. I got sick. And when I got sick, and went in the hospital, they gave me a 50-50 chance to live, and I couldn't do the award show. And the women, I had nominations, I had people, ready to come down to where Virginia to, North Carolina, where I was at to join the show. Like now, I got women coming from Alabama, Minnesota, all over to join this award show, because they believe in me. But it was some women that was real mean and catty, and I was in the hospital and they was like, well, you need to do the show. I'm like, I am on my deathbed. I can't walk. I can't breathe. I had to, and these women still haven't talked to me today because I couldn't do the show. But I highlighted these women, I uplifted them, I put them in my magazine. I'm not talking back about anybody else, but I'm just telling the backstory about the Elite Business Women Award show, how it's so important to me to do this. Because I promised, these women that I was going to do a show, but I was sick in the hospital and I couldn't do the show for almost 2 years. And everybody know that I was sick in the hospital. So now that God has restored me, he has given me back everything that I could ever dream or imagine. This award show means so much to me to highlight women that have walked this walk, have been doing it, that don't get nominated, that don't get an award given to them. Some women that ain't never had an award given to them.
Right.
And that's where I'm at. I want to see these women, celebrated and uplifted and encouraged. Look, sis, your friends and family might not nominate you, but you get an award today. You
Yeah.
deserve it. You do great work. Nobody's telling them they do great work. They just doing it because out of the goodness of their heart. And so
Mhm.
that's the elite, the best of the best. And so that's where I want to give out awards and let people understand that, listen, I promised them, but I'm making it happen now. So, and how does that affect you, sis? How does that
That saddens my heart to hear that, they will have that type of heart knowing that you're sick. And that's where empathy comes in. And that's where emotional intelligence come in as well. When you see your sister is sick in a hospital, her health and her life is more important than an award. You can always do an award show and all like you're doing now. You can always do that. But your life, once you lose that, that's it. So your life and your health, that's more important than an award show. So that was not of God. That was not kind to have that heart towards you going through that situation, and that was not right. I most definitely don't agree. With them, I'm sorry, them giving you a
like
time. I'm sorry. Like that. So I
Yeah.
won't work. You know, when people show you who they are, believe them. And you don't need people. And I'm going to be honest, you don't need women like that in your corner. Who if they don't have any type of concern when you fighting for your life, you don't need that negative energy in your circle. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you, and you have to do what's best for you. Life happens. That was a situation that was out of your control. You could not have controlled that, and we're more um, concerned about your life and your health than an award show, because at the end of the day, God going to reward us.
Yeah.
Every good deed that we do on earth is already written.
Yeah.
So even if we don't get the recognition here on earth, it's already written. God's going to give us our reward when He comes. So your life and is more important than an award. So no, I hate that happened to you. But to God be the glory. We still gonna with Christ's love, and you just keep on going, sis. We
Oh,
more
yeah.
you
It
know.
taught
Yeah,
me, all it did was it propelled me. It gave me that fire to keep going. Look, when you do get this, your award show coming back, it may, I moved from Virginia, came to North Carolina, but it's gonna go hard. And that's the thing that I look at. I look at what God is doing. He's a rewarder. Um,
right,
I, I know that, people don't mean it, and I have to forgive them. And like I said, to move on. That's the forgiveness in my heart, forgiving them
right.
and moving on. And I still comment and love posts and all that. I don't let that stop me from being me, because no one will ever stop me for having a heart after God, loving God. I'm telling you, nobody's going to make me miss God. You know,
Absolutely.
Whatever they do, they do. But this is to my sister. Listen, you're not gonna make me miss God, huh? And you can say what you want to say. The jealousy, the hate. Like you said, how do you deal with it? I love God, so I
Mm-hmm.
love people. So I
Mm-hmm.
know these are God people. I pray for God to use them and help them change their hearts, their stony hearts. God, do it for me. And when I pray, whew, let me just tell you, things happen. Mountain, look, you speak to that mountain, it shall be moved. Come on, somebody, listen. You don't understand how you know the word of God, a child of God. You can't play with her because she praying in the seat and in the background, and so that's where we at. We have to stand on the fence for our sisters when they have stuff like that, jealousy. That's how I would handle it.
Yeah.
I
You
do.
have to be unlovable.
No, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta be lovable. You gotta be lovable, and but some people don't know about love because they've been hurt so bad. And the love that they get, they think it's a setup. I found
Yeah.
I think it's a setup because you don't look for nothing. You ain't got a agenda because you don't want nothing but to love them. And they think it's a setup because they have never seen love before. Um,
Yeah.
and that's where I find us women have to show more love. I say love because God is love. Listen, if He didn't say it, I wouldn't do it. So, but He says it, and that's just it. It is done. It is written. So, and now we want, before you go, I want you to tell us what you got coming up. What do you have coming up?
So our next event, wrap is second and fourth Saturdays of each month, and so we're going to do water play. We're going to a place where the kids are going to come and just have fun in the community. So that's the second Saturday in June and the fourth Saturday in June. Yep, that's
Oh,
it.
that's awesome. Water play. And how can people get connected and sow seed into your ministry? I know you didn't say this, but I did. I felt led. If that's okay, that they can sow seed, or can they help with your ministry with the kids? How can
Yeah.
they do
They can cash out me at $ New Life Faith Center.
Hold on, let me put that in here. $, and it's
New
N. Uh-huh.
NEW
Uh-huh.
Life
Uh-huh.
Faith
Uh-huh.
Center. Center.
Center. Okay. And that's it.
Yep. Mhm.
New Life Faith Center, and that's is CENTER.
Yes,
I
that's
just
correct.
sure that I had it right. Because I believe in us supporting our sister. There you go. So we support you, sis. You're doing amazing things. I can't wait to meet you in person on Saturday.
I'm
Um,
excited. I'm
bring your look, bring your book. we we could look, we could go to Amazon and buy it, but we like to buy in person. You understand? But I also want to, you to bring your book. You have done so much. You've been, done the Archie Awards. You've done the Speak Up. You got nominated for the Speak Up Sister Awards coming up with me, and so we're super excited on that. You have the book Hidden Treasure, y'all, in me. Go to Amazon and support our sister, okay? Listen, we want to support our sister because you'll go read Sarah Jakes, and nothing is wrong with this, but I'm just saying, you read Sarah Jakes, now read my sister book. She's coming, Sarah Jakes. Come on, somebody now. If you seen her preach, you would listen, you would follow her everywhere she go. I have to say. She be everywhere. I be trying to catch her too. I be like, oh my God, where is she at this week? And Karen said, where and how do they volunteer? She wants to you need, yeah, volunteer them.
They can inbox me, or they can go to my website, NaToya Richardson Enterprises. You can go on the website, or you can inbox me, and once I put up the flyer, you can just come and show up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we showing up. I want to do the water. I like
yeah,
water.
for Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like water. Well, I want you to stay on, my sister. Good afternoon, Mrs. Jennifer, Dr. Jennifer, Brian. Welcome to the show. I want to if you can stay on. I want to bring on one of my sisters who I love dearly. She has a listen with me. Unless you got to go, you got. She might, but she has been with me. Can you stay on if you want to stay on or no?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Say it. I'm sorry, since I got distracted.
No, I was
What?
asking you, can you stay on with us if you okay. All right. Because I have my sister, she is my sister. This is my friend. I met her. Let me just tell you how I met my sister. I was wanting to go to an event, and I had just moved down here to North Carolina. So I bought her ticket and for a vending. And as something happened where, you give your sister grace, and she reached out to me and told me that the event wasn't going to be going on. And she cashed out me my money back.
Wow.
Yeah, and so ever since then, we have been sisters. We have had meetings. We have loved on each other. We check on each other, just to see how each other's doing. You guys, she's a powerful woman of God. She's been through a lot, but I want her to give a little bit about herself. So I'm gonna save some because listen, I can't tell enough about her because that's my girl, and. I call she's there. She be like, "Yeah, what time? What we gonna do? Where we gonna go? What we got going on?" and and she did just win the DAPA awards, and more to some more to come. So I'm super excited for my sister, and I want to bring her on, author Lunesha Bridges. Come on, somebody, can you hear us, sis?
I can. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much to my beautiful sister for having me on, Dr. Chanel Monique, and thank you so much for being the predecessor. Is it Minister NaToya Richardson?
Yes.
Yeah, Pastor,
Awesome,
Pastor
awesome,
Latoya,
awesome.
Pastor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I am super excited that you came on with short notice, because I just asked you. that, that's just how I do, right? I just asked you, come on, can you come on? And expect you to be ready. Like,
And listen, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right?
now you talking. That's big. That's big dog right there. Like, but I'm super excited to have you on, sis. You are an amazing sister. I want to thank you. I want to give you your flowers while you're still here. And I want to give you your flowers because you have been just a blessing to me behind the scenes. You have walked with me and you haven't left me behind, my side during this situation, going through all of this. And you checked on me. You prayed for me, and so I thank God for you as being a sister. That's, I count that. Woo, you don't understand how much that means. That means more than money, So I thank you. Can you tell? And then also, you are going to be at the event this weekend. Come on, somebody. Come on. It's called the Elite Business Women Presents Connections and Conversations networking event. So we want to get all the people out to connect and collaborate and tell about their business. You're gonna be the speaker. So sis, tell us about how how did you do it all? How do you do it all?
By the grace of God. Listen, by the grace of God. And thank you so much. Likewise, you've just been there and you have poured. So one of the things that I am just so excited about is because this right here is just unfolding and just in front of our eyes. In spite of everything that you've been through, you're giving a platform and giving just an arena for women to be able to bring their expertise, their experience, all the things that they have been through, and their voice to be able to empower other women. So that is the first thing that, of course, this is what we all stand for. But to be able to see and to connect and to come together, to be able to inspire one another is what we as women, nobody can do it like we can, right? And everybody has a piece to their puzzle. It's a huge picture here, but we are able to connect and to make women understand that it is not just what you're going through, but it's in spite of what you're going through. You can continue on whenever you're wanting to cry in the background, whenever you have broken down almost mentally, and you pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, you know what, God, you called me to this. You gave me a word for my sisters. And in spite of whatever I'm going through, I'm going to bring my voice, your word, and your purpose to my sisters so that they are able to draw from me, even when I need to be poured into. So it's a recyclable, procedure that we're going through, that I'm able to pour into you. You're able to pour into me. She's able to pour into me. I'm able to pour into her. And all of us is able to drink from that fountain that God has given us. So that's the main thing that we're really, really doing here. And as far as being able to just do it with you and to be here and to be connected with you on this platform and to share with our sisters, that's the most important part. We can talk about ourselves all day long, but what is our purpose for doing this? If it is not for your sister, who are you going to pour into? Who are you going to talk to? Who are you really going to have a conversation with? So we have to give air to our sisters first. But who am I? I'm Lunesha Bridges, the founder and CEO of Growth Empowerment, Motivation and Support LLC. But I'm also the author of the Gems book. And what you'll be hearing about on this weekend is the Gems book. You'll be able to connect with us. You'll be able to talk about the reason why the book was even written. And the reason why it was is because my life had experienced tragedy. And from tragedy, we can also go and experience triumph. So that's what this weekend is all about, to be able to tell why I even had to write a book. And the reason was newness of life that you're going through, and you're going through your daily routine, and you're going through life, and God says, I have something more for you. I have something different for you to do. I know what your regular schedule events were, but I'm here to put something in the midst of those events to let you know that I'm getting ready to take you higher. You're going through this situation in this season so that I can take you to the next level. Because if I cannot get in the midst of what you're going through, you'll never be able to come out, because you overcome by the word of the Lamb and the blood of, that by the word of the, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. So we have a lot of testimonies. So we have to endure those tests, right? So
Right.
that's the only way that we're going to be able to get through. Then the only way that someone else is going to be able to come out is that they had to see that you had the ability, and God gave you the grace in order to come out. So that's what we're going to be doing this weekend. We're going to connect. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk. We're going to be nurtured and poured into so that we can be able to go to the next level.
And you hit it on the nose. Like, our events are not your normal events. They sometimes you cry. I mean, you have a word for your sister. You freely give your word for your sister. We have it's a doctor. I said, Dr. Natasha. Oh, come on now.
There
I
you
feel
go. I second that.
that. Look, I heard the elevation right there. Look, hold on, Doctor NaToya. Come on, somebody, Doctor NaToya. Come on, somebody. I heard. Oh, but our
Yes.
events are like no other. When we all get together, we love on each other. And some women, it's a safe space. It is a really safe space. We've cried, we prophesied, we it wasn't a normal networking event because I let God lead. God in it. God got to be in everything that I do, and when He's in it, whoo, like she said, the testimonies about how people have overcame to start their businesses, how people have overcame to write their books. Come on, somebody, because writing a book ain't easy. How they overcame to produce a product. Producing a product, ooh, let me tell you, it'll take your life. I'm just saying. I did a couple, and boy, did it like to do. I'm just saying, those things, that warfare that's behind those things that you're producing,
Yes.
it's a hard one, and people don't understand that this is a hard one to go through. And so that's how we are. We want to talk about the healing process as well. We want to get you there. We want you to go leave there with the sign of relief that you came and met your sisters. You understand what I'm saying? It was I had one person that came to one of my events, and she left like, I didn't know what I was coming into. I don't know why I came, and I trusted you, but I'm glad I came. I know what she said.
Yes. Absolutely, because it's not a normal everyday experience. You walk in and you expect to do business as usual, your
Usual.
normal networking business, event. And you expect to walk in and to meet other like-minded women and entrepreneurs and talk about business. And once you get there, you get to talking, the spirit takes over, and it becomes a place of release, and you're finding a new level of peace, and there's the anointing is dropping all over the place, and that you're finding that, you know what, I needed to cry today. I thought I was coming to make a connection, and I did. I thought I was coming to meet another sister, and I did. And I thought I was coming to, being able to connect, to be asked to speak somewhere, and to be able to, do this event, and to the event, whatever the connection may be, and the collaboration. So it does happen, but also God gives you that extra, because again, if he's in you and we're bringing him with us, he's already in the midst. We don't have to wait to get there. He showed up because I came. He showed up because my sister came, because he is within all of us. So because he's already there in the midst, he has to be able to have space. You have to give him that space so that he can do the work that is much deeper than what we ever thought that would happen at a business networking event. And one of the things that I'm so gracious, just so grateful for, is the amount of women that I was able to meet and to connect with when I first, was able to actually come to an elite women's, business event, because it was transformation. It was life changing, not understanding that her story was my story was her story, but yet the stories are so much different, and what we were able to overcome. And speaking about what I was able to overcome, losing my parents years ago, both of my parents gone, right? Most of my family members, those that anchor group is gone. However, out of that, I was able to go, to go do a pageant. Shout out to Marusha Jones Sharon. Was able to do that, was able to actually, win. And then that spiraled into me having that platform and it becoming literally my business years ago. So, projecting forward into now what am I able to do? Now I've written a book. Now I've, become that published author, businesses after business after business, being able to partner, even with you, travel and all of those things. That is what you're able to do when you allow God to step in spite of your tragedy and in spite of losing your anchors. He positions other anchors around you.
And that's what it's all about. It's about not being a gatekeeper. Because that's one thing about me. I refuse to be a gatekeeper. Everybody, these are God's people. Why wouldn't I want my sister, Dr. NaToya, to meet you, Dr. Lunesha? Come on, somebody. Why wouldn't I want you guys to meet each other? Why would I keep that a secret? Because God may have something planned for both of y'all that I don't have nothing to do with it. I just was the one that connected you guys. And that's what most of the time that is. I'm a connector because I connect you to the source, to the person, to the event, to the award, to the this. But I don't want recognition. All I want you to know is that my heart was thinking about you. My heart was loving on you at the time that I put the nomination in. My heart was wanting you to be connected to somebody who can maybe, Dr. NaToya can do some things that I can't do. She got some gifts and talents that's, she can preach through a wall. And I listen, I'm over here a little soft girl, And so I want people to understand that we need each other. We need to connect with each other. We need to love on each other. Ain't nobody I'm supposed to keep this Rolodex. I'm supposed to die with all this information inside of me. Come on, somebody. That's dying it with purpose.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what majority of the people in the graveyard did. They died with purpose. A lot of them did not finish their purpose. And so with me, when it comes to my sisters, like you said, Dr. Lunesha, you met a lot of women that connected with you, that supports you now, just from that little event. And it ain't even finished yet. We ain't finished yet. We just getting back started. We just getting back started. And so I'm just super excited to have both of you on tonight, because it's a true blessing to have two powerful women on one live. And let me just tell you, this live is fire. Listen. And first, we had some questions I wanted to ask, but I'm going to just ask you, a little bit about how does true sisterhood look to you? How does that look to you? Because you're a loving heart, and your heart is so pure. And so it just, I love to hear when women have that pure heart, like my sister, Dr. NaToya, like that pure heart, because they don't see, anything wrong. They just see the sister.
That's it. And one of the main things about that sisterhood, it really means so much. Whenever you think about what sisterhood really is, whenever even when you're growing up in life and you're thinking about things and you're beginning to grow and you're beginning to meet people and beginning to make that connection as you're growing up as little girls, you begin out with, you know what, I want to talk to somebody. I want to play with somebody. I want to be able to go and have fun with somebody. You're 5 and 6 years old. You have no idea what sisterhood really means as of yet, but you're wanting to seek out someone to talk to, someone to share with, and to hold that space. And we don't realize that even as little girls, we're beginning to grow that, that space holding for one another, and we don't even know what it is yet. But you find that one friend and you're like, you know what, I got to tell such and such because I know she's going to understand. I don't care if it's a lollipop. At that age, at that young age, you're going to run and tell it, right? But then there comes the time when you become a teenager and now you have a secret, or it's your mother, or it's your grandmother, or it's people in your family that you need somebody to hold that secret, because it's not for the world. It's just for us in this space. And then you begin to grow, and you begin to grow into a woman. And after all the hurt and the pain has come, and I don't know if I can trust with someone. I don't know if I can trust that one. Now you begin to grow into what we really call a sisterhood. Sometimes you don't even know person. Sometimes it can be a complete stranger that you just met, but something is saying in your spirit, you know what? I think you can confide in this person. I think you can release in this person. And now after you have released and you've emptied out, now they begin to pour back into you. That's what sisterhood really looks like. Can she hold the space? Can she, can she hold water and not allow it to leak out of her person? Is she able to hold that secret for me? Is she able to pray for me even when I don't have the words to explain what exactly is going on? Does she call on me? Does she check on me? Does she just say, you know what, sis, I was just thinking about you. Are you okay? God just put you on my heart. He just put you on my mind. Let me go ahead and pray for you. And even before she calls you up, she prays for you anyway. She's in travail for you. She's in her closet praying for you. But like, God, I don't know what's going on with my sister, but I am standing in the gap for her. And not only that, she's not only just standing in the gap, she's a prayer warrior. When I don't have the strength to fight, when I don't have the words to say to my God, when I can't even utter a word, when my tears are what my prayer is for that day, she's able to speak in the spirit and say, Lord, can you help my sister? Can you go see about her? Can you dispatch your angels around about her? Because there's something going on with her, and who's connected with her. She might have just experienced something that she doesn't want to even talk about, or it's too painful to talk about. People may have turned their back on this person. People may have talked about this person, or it could be she's battling within herself. But whatever the case may be, whatever it is she's going through, or if it's a victory for her to celebrate, I'm right there cheering. I just like it was me that just got that new house, that it was me that just got that new car, that it was me that just, like you said, won that award, that it was me that just had the podcast, that it was me that was pushing forth the new things. And now I'm sitting celebration for my sister as if it was me and not. It's all together. I love what she loves. I dislike what she dislikes. I'm there. I'm her confidant, because why? God called me to this ministry. Sisterhood is a ministry. That's what it looks like to me. That's when I'm in pain, my sister's in pain, when she's in pain, I'm in pain, when we're happy, when we're sad, when she needs me to dry her tears, whatever is going on, I am there. I can't be God for her, but I can be the God intended woman of God that I'm supposed to be in the midst of her and for her situation, because God has been that for me. So I need to pay that forward to every sister that I meet, not just the ones that I'm, okay with, not the ones that I even like, even the ones that I know don't like me. I'm still supposed to be that sister to her, because you walk in the pureness of love. Love is not conditional. Even if we have conditions on what we will deal with, it's not conditional. Our love is supposed to be just like our Father's. And that, to me, what sisterhood is all about. It doesn't matter what they've done. What it matters is that, are they God's? And if He made us all, then they are God's. And they may not be walking where they should be walking, but I'm going to love you until you get there. You ever seen somebody coming from down the road and you already there and you're waiting on them to come to see you? Well, hold your hand out.
Yeah.
Extend that hand that, you know what, I wasn't there always either, sis, and I've arrived to this destination, but you know what, there's a sister over there that's got her hand held out for me, waiting for me to come. That to me, Dr.
That's a,
Shirley, is what sisterhood looks like.
and I like that you said sisterhood is ministry. That
Yeah.
is a ministry. It is.
Mhm.
We so many people look at it as a being just a word spoken, or like you said, liking one person and giving them, accolades and stuff like that, and then forgetting about the ones that like you said that are coming up the street, that's got that little short dress, that got turned away from the church across the street, and wanted to come in and get a word to change her life. Because I have been that. I've been the one that was talked about, coming into church with the same clothes I came from the strip club in. And I'll be honest, but my grandma was blind. And so she couldn't see what I had on. So she never judged me. And so
Yeah.
all she wanted me to do was take her to church. And so that changed my entire life, that my granny, and then that's why I'm the way that I am, because somebody had their hand out for me. I wanted to be the person that I needed. I didn't have any sisters. I had those invisible friends and stuff like that, because I live so far in the country. But I live so far in the country, y'all, so it won't know people out there. But and so I wanted to be that. I didn't have sisters, so when I went to my granny's, I always used to try to make friends and be the sister that I wanted them to be to me. Understand? And that's the same way today. I'm the person that I want them to be to me. I'll be that, because we all need that. We all looking for that. And so you saying that sisterhood, is ministry is, I mean, just amazing. And the fact that you said it, that person handing their hand out, waiting on you, because you're not going to be the same forever. You're going to change.
Right.
Everybody changes. And you not, God is a God of second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances. He gives so many chances. Listen, he will never, he'll leave that one, he'll leave the 99 and go after that one. And thank God that one was me one time, y'all. I'm gonna tell you. It was each of us, because we wouldn't be here today. And so I want you to tell us a little bit about, I have another, question. Your experience with, sisterhood. You already done went through it already. I already said all this. So already answered all the questions. So have you met Dr. NaToya? Y'all haven't met each
Uh-uh.
other?
No, it's a pleasure though. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
Jane was, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been calling you already.
Listen, I'm just looking at her face and I'm just like, Lord, the anointing is just literally sitting on top of, like, you just can't even help but to see it. It's literally like the anointing is just, it's just there. It's there. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be in the midst of both of you, because it's literally God's perfection. That three. You always talk about the three-string cord, but also the whole Trinity. There's three, and then, where two or three are gathered, I
Mhm.
shall not go there. But I'm just saying that I'm grateful.
Yeah,
To be in
that
the
three-strand cord is not easily broken. So us three together, giving this word tonight wasn't by accident. It was on purpose. God did this, because I didn't know if you were going to get on, because I had already asked, Dr. NaToya to come on, and she said yes, and I said okay. I don't know if Lunesha gonna get on, because I did ask her to do Saturday, and I don't want to push you too hard, because I could push you, boy, because I can push you. Dr. NaToya, I'm a pusher. So that's one thing. I could be sick in the bed, but I'm pushing and keep
Yeah.
going. Like, this week I had 101 temperature, all week. And I pushed tonight to get on. I said, nah. My husband said, you okay? You can fine. I said, yeah, I'm good. It ain't gonna stop me. The devil ain't gonna stop me. He's defeated. Come on, you gotta speak to that thing. I ain't gonna let the enemy win tonight. This is important to me that us women come together, like you said, where there are 2 or 3 gathered, there he is in the midst, and somebody might have got something, and I'm sure they got something from this tonight to understand that sisterhood is very important.
Yeah.
And I thank God for you ladies having the heart that you're having, the spirit that you have, and to even trust me coming through what I just came through. Y'all didn't look at me and say, nah, I ain't messing with her. She, she might not make it. You didn't doubt, you didn't doubt me. You actually supported me through this. And the fact that means so much to me, because it's been a lot that have doubted. They thinking as I'm out for the count, but they don't understand they have to recount, because he ain't finished with me yet. And that's the stuff, that's one of my books. God ain't done with me. He ain't finished with me yet. The ultimate comeback. Listen, he
That's
always he is the one that brings you back. He raised Lazarus from the dead. I know that he got something for me. He ain't gonna do it for Lazarus and not do it for me. So we have to think of all the times that God has been good to us and brought us through. You understand? It ain't always been a good look, a glorious walk, but he has brought us through some things. Oh, he has turned my life around and planted my feet on solid ground. And without him, I am nothing. So we got to praise him and give him what is due when we together, because he is, oh, Jesus, King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I love him with everything in me. And I have to be honest, you guys, and this is where, Dr. Lunesha, I'm an honest, Ivy. I had, when I got sick, I had turned my back. I knew God was with me, but I had turned my back on God. I said, you know what? He got me this sick. The doctors told me it's nothing they can do for me. And the doctors tell me now it's nothing they can do for me. When you hear that it's nothing that can be done for you, you look and you think like, why am I going through this? I do everything, I start thinking, counting, calculating, but God had another calculation. You understand what I'm saying? He had to do it for a reason in my life. He had to transform me and take me through a process, so that this process that he taken me through, that I will never fail, I will never fall again. He had to open my heart to a couple of things that I was letting hold me back. You understand what I'm saying? He had to heal me and heal my soul. Because if he couldn't heal my soul, that's why I can't stay sick. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm totally honest when it comes to, I said I wasn't going to deal with sisters no more. I said, I ain't doing that no more. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of it. I've been through too much. I got to fight for my life. I want to go lay on the beaches of the world and drink virgin pina coladas, because I can drink
Okay.
I did. Since I was big mad, God said, rewind. And here we are doing all of this. He my last hospital stay, I didn't come out the same.
Yes.
I have to tell you that I had 2 blood clots in both of my lungs. I had my legs, I couldn't walk. My kidneys was failing. He said, now are you gonna be obedient? Because obedience is better than sacrifice. You're gonna keep doing this, being disobedient. And I said, you know what, God? I'll be obedient. I give it all to you. I said, and when God talking to you, I know everybody do. We're not slow. We hear that still small voice that God speaking to us. You get in that small closet. The doctor told me he can't do nothing for me. The doctor said I got to get a feeding tube. The doctor said this. The doctor said that. Who report I'm gonna believe? And I got into that small closet that tuned everybody out. And I said, don't come in my room. Let me pray. let me get my stuff together because I've lost me. And so when I got in there and I prayed, he changed me. And when he changed me, I ain't never gonna be the same. I ain't being disobedient. I'm gonna listen to what God has to say. Cause we all can be disobedient, right? I
Can't we?
know I ain't the only one. It's a
Can't
pastor
we?
out there now.
Listen, and you know what? And the thing about it is, as you were talking, you know, and a lot of times, you know, that we don't get the opportunities to share. And you said something a minute ago, and you said, people had turned their back, and they said, they didn't believe in me. But the reason why, and Dr. NaToya Richardson, I speak this in faith, in faith, sister, that I am
Yeah,
also,
me too. Don't
that I'm
say
also speaking,
yeah.
I'm just touching the surface, because nobody can tell your story like you can tell it. But the reason why we too are here is because a lot of times when God connects you, you get similar stories. So as you were talking about the feeding tube and all of those things, as I'm sitting here right now, as I'm sitting here, and I'm remembering even 2 years ago, I began to hear, and I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I began to hear my heartbeat in my head. I began to hear it, right? Not to mention, I began to stop breathing in my sleep at night. Yes, that thing that we call sleep apnea. Not a lot of people even know that I even deal with it. So on it was becoming to where I would stop breathing and my heart would kick in and my heart would be racing, and that's what would wake me up. So it was not intended for me to live, but it was intended for me to die in my sleep. But God,
Yes.
oxygen at zero, but
Yeah.
God.
But
Even yet and still, I'm still here. And this was, before any medication, before any, devices or anything like that. But what I can say is that I am still here 2 years later, enlarged heart and all. Heart rate goes up as soon as I begin to even walk somewhere. And that's even now. But guess what? I'm
Okay.
sitting here, I'm on this live, and I am much better than what I was 2 years ago. Am I out of the woods? Probably not. But who do we lean and depend on? So that's why we're here. That's why we couldn't give up on you. Because when you're taking medication to bring your heart rate down, taking medication for you to sleep, taking medication for a lot of different things, but God still has you here, and He still has His hand on you. So that's why women like ourselves show
absolutely,
Don't make me
absolutely.
cry. Don't make me cry over here. My lashes gotta stay on till we get off of here.
the report of the Lord. So you can't help but to support your sister when literally your sister is your mirror. That you're looking at her going through her sickness and you praying for her, and it's all you can do to keep your heart rate down while praying for her. Right. So that's why we are here, because again, honey, once one comes out, the other one comes out, and the dedication is that God is still good. He's still a healer, and He doesn't want to know, because He already knows how much you're going through. He wants to know how much. To whom much is given, much is required. So can I meet the requirement of God on my life? Can I still not be so healthy and still go anyway? Because even though mine is physical, someone else they may be going through mental anxiety and anguish and depression and all of these things, and their mind is racing at 100 miles an hour, and they're standing up in the pulpit, or they're standing up, speaking, or they're standing up, or they're writing that book, and they can't even hardly finish the chapter because they're breaking down and they're crying and all of these things. But it does not sway God. His
Come on.
grace is still sufficient for all of us. So
You
thank
guys,
you. Proud of you for continuing on in this journey.
yes, and
Yeah.
thank you for believing. And about the and I hope you don't get offended by that. I just huh?
I said I'm gonna say my little bit, and I'm gonna be done. It's not we don't look at your condition. Your condition has nothing to do with who you are in God.
Mm-mm.
Storm and your trials has nothing to do with who you are in God. You still who you are in God, even in your storm. If we suffer with Christ, we're going to reign with Christ, and we have to understand in that when you are called, you are chosen. You are, the Bible said many are called and few are chosen. And you are chosen. When you are chosen, your battles and your trials are going to be a little heavy. You're going to go through extra storms and trials when you are chosen. You are chosen because of the mandate on your life, because the impact that you are making in the lives of the women, because what you have to offer. See, the enemy's job is to keep women in bondage and keep them locked up in trauma. But you hold the keys to unlock the mindset of women who have been bound. So that's why the enemy fights you so hard, because you carry a healing anointing. That's why God using you to help heal other women. You hold the key to other women's healing. And so that's why the fight is so hard, but you're not going nowhere. God has his hand on your life. You just getting started. You haven't even scratched the surface of what God is about to do in your life. God is about to do some amazing things in your life. It's so many women that you haven't even seen. The eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered to the heart of man what God has in store for you in this next season of your life. And so God has you for in a season where he's going to help you pull women that's been out of Lodabar. You're going to snatch them out of Lodabar. And that's why the enemy is fighting you. And that's because he don't want you to reach those women, but hell cannot stop what God has for you to do in this season. He cannot help the work of God. He can't slow up the process of God. So that's why you had to continue on with this law, because hell is not going to stop the process of what God, and because you obey your assignment. It's all about obeying your assignment. When you obey your assignment, God will bless you for obeying your assignment. And because you obeyed him on tonight, God is to bless you like never before. He's going to heal you like never before. You are healed. Longevity shall you live. You shall live and not die, but declare the works of the Lord. We speak longevity over your life. You're not going nowhere. You're going anywhere, because you have a greater work to do. You have a greater work ahead. That's why God could not allow you to lay down your work, because you are needed in this hour. You are needed in this time. So he could not allow you to lay down your work, because as I tell you all the time, we need you. I need you. What you have, I need you. You hold the key to my next. You hold the key to what God is trying to do into my life. And so I'm grateful for you. We need you, woman of God. And get discouraged, like I stated earlier, I don't look at storms and trials. We all go through storms and trials. That's all part of that's all part of the cross. We take up our cross and we follow Christ. And sometimes we think following Christ is an easy thing. No, it's not. You're going to go through and you following God. But guess what? When you obey your assignment and you do what God called you to do, he's going to bless you. He's going to honor you for obeying his assignment, because it's bigger than us. It's bigger than our feelings. It's bigger than our emotions. It's about building the kingdom. It's about saving souls. It's about reaching lives. But when we obey his will and we draw and compel men to come to Christ, he's going to get the glory out of your life. That's what this is all about. It's not about us. It's about building the kingdom. It's about saving souls. That's what this whole thing is about. And woman of God, you're doing a great work. You're doing a great work. Don't let nothing and nobody discourage you for what you are doing in the earth. Don't let nobody you and stop you for what you are doing in the earth. We salute you. We're behind you. We pushing you to your next, because we need you, woman of God. We need you. Other women out here need you. We need you, woman. You stay on the wall and don't come down. Stay on the wall and don't come down, and watch God do an amazing thing in your life.
The devil is a liar.
Yes.
Yeah, the devil is a liar.
Yes.
But I needed that.
Yes.
Encourager needed encouragement. It's us. And so don't ever not say what you have to say. It's on your heart.
Powerful.
Many people say you need
Yes.
encouragement I I need encouragement each and every day to get up, to move, to knees hurt and couldn't walk this morning, in pain. And I said, you know what? This is gonna happen regardless. Like you said, sis, I'm gonna be obedient to what the devil is a liar. He is defeated. And I kept walking around the house. I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna feel better. My husband said, what you say? I said, I'm gonna feel better. I'm gonna feel better.
Yes, God.
I had to keep telling the devil, I'm gonna feel better because the temperatures haven't stopped. The things have it keep coming, and I thank God for you women like y'all just being by my side to have my back going through this because it is tough, and I got y'all back, as y'all know. Listen, I got y'all. I'm warring with y'all. And I can't wait till we all get together on Saturday at the event. So bring your books. I know you're gonna have yours. I know you're gonna have yours, Dr. NaToya. And I'm just speaking things into it. I speak, and when I speak, things start to happen, and so things shift. And people don't know what people see in them, and I see that in you, my sister,
Yeah.
Dr. NaToya. You had years of laboring, and it's your time to be celebrated for the years that you have
Yes.
labored. Oh, Jesus, I feel it in my spirit. It's things, oh God, that you had to go through that you didn't get to
Mhm.
talk about. You can't talk about now, but God is a rewarder of those who seek Him, and you have been seeking Him on your face. Now, watch He elevate you to the next level. Not
Yeah.
only He's going to bring you grants and funds for all
Yeah.
your camp, He's going to make sure that you have enough help. I say help, meaning big help, not the small peon help. I'm talking about big money help that's going to invest in you and invest in your space. Your space going to be paid for. Come on, somebody. You ain't going to
Yeah.
have to worry about that. Your events where you take them to is going to be paid for. All you going to have to say is, we're going here today. It's already taken care of. And so I see God doing a work in your ministry as well, because we need you too. And so to pour into women like me that need a sound voice. Oh, Jesus, Lord, thank you. That need
Yes,
that
God.
voice.
Yes,
And so I just want to bless the Lord for you tonight. I want any need that it need to be met. Yeah, God is going to meet it. He's going to multiply everything you've sown tonight. So go watch what God do. He's about to wow you for even just saying yes to someone like me. Just saying yes to it. Yeah. And I thank God for you, my sister, Dr. Lunesha. I thank God for your life, your health. Oh God, I think I see Him. Oh God, you are already healed. Hallelujah.
Yes.
You walking in your
Amen.
goodness, so Lord. And you are good. Everything you touch turning to gold. Everything you doing has prosperity and success. And whatever you stand in need of, God will supply. He is giving you double for your trouble. So if you seeing something, oh God, that you say, oh man, hallelujah, Lord, just not count it all joy, because He is gonna reward you for all the things that you had to endure behind the scenes. How I know I called you and I'd be like, sis, you okay? I haven't seen you. I call you, sis, you okay? I haven't seen you. But all those things that you've done behind the scene, God
Yes.
is going to reward you publicly for all the things that you went through privately. Watch God bless you and bless you indeed. Hallelujah, Lord.
Yes. Don't
Why
listen. I
bless
receive
you.
it.
And and
Yes.
our Reverend Maddie said that we have such a sweet spirit, and thank
Yes.
you, Reverend Maddie. I wish I could get her down here to the award show.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I want to honor her at the award show. It's a couple of women I want to give honor to at the award show.
Yes.
And so, you guys, I can't wait to see you on Saturday. I'm not gonna hold you
Yes.
long. It's Saturday, y'all. This Saturday from 1 to 5. You don't have to stay all day. It's gonna be Elite Business Women Association presents connections, and conversations. Networking event. Connect and elevate. I'm gonna tell you. Once you connect, that's what prosperity is. I
Yeah.
networking is the new currency. I don't know if you guys know that, y'all, but networking is the new currency. And so, guys, if you haven't registered, go to the elitebwa.org, or you can go to the Eventbrite. But we want to see you in the place.
Yeah.
So just come on now. It don't matter what you've done, how you done it. We forgive you. We
Yeah.
moving. No,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta say that. We forgive you. We moving on. We on another level.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Listen, I'm sitting over here and I'm just looking at Dr. Richardson like there's buildings that need to be built. But
that's
there's literally buildings that need to be built. There's places there need to be anchor places built for what you're doing in all around, not just here in the US, but around the globe. And I just kept hearing it, so I have to say it. I couldn't let the live just end without saying the buildings that need to be built and the anchor places that need to be placed around the US and around the world. Global international ministry is what I'm hearing, and literally it's so much. It is so much that God has. Like I had to. I could not just not say it. When God tells you to say something, you have to say it. So whatever those buildings are, whatever it is that you need, even if you like, Lord, I need to do what? Yes, you need to build this, and just continue on the journey,
we got
even
your back.
even in spite of the pain that you've been through, even in spite of and just close pain doesn't, I know that you know what that means, but the close pain, the pain that you never thought would be inflicted by those that it was inflicted by, that's okay. You can trust again these people that God is sending. You can trust again. You can trust them to not want to take your idea and run away with it. You can trust them to be able to actually be those people that are to hold your arms up as they held up even Moses' arms, that whenever you get tired, that they're there to actually support, and not to be there for any other reason. So I thank God for you.
I felt all that in my
And,
spirit.
and sis, I just say, be blessed.
I felt that, and I felt that all.
Everything that you touch, be blessed. Everything.
Yeah, because we got to carry on Saturday. We gonna carry on Saturday. We gonna carry on Saturday. So if you love this, don't miss Saturday.
That's what sisterhood looks like, right
That's
here.
what sisterhood looks like.
Like
And,
right
and
here.
I felt all of that in my spirit, sis, that you're in a safe space. You're in a safe space now. Like when I introduce like women to women, I make sure that I vet them and make sure that they are safe space, because I don't want them hurting nobody else. I don't want them, and if you see me step away from some things, it's because I've got to pray and let their heart get right, because they hurt my heart. You understand what I'm saying? And so in order for me to continue on through my illness, I have to protect my heart. And that's what the words say, protect your heart. That's where the issues of life flow from. And so I want to, and my sister Lunesha, Dr. Lunesha is my now. And so, and I trust her and stuff. I have another one, Tina, my girl. She ain't on here. I don't think so. I ain't see her on here tonight, but she probably revival. But and you'll see her supporting you. You'll see her sharing your posts. You will see her. She'll do all kind. You will see her. You won't even know her, and she gonna be sharing your book. She gonna be sharing your events. That's how she is. And so that's sisterhood to me. The ones that can love on you without an agenda, that see that you're doing great things, and look, let's share my sister stuff. Let's promote my sister as well. And so that's what we want to do. We want to continue. I want to, like you said, change the game right now, because I see too many it's called clicks or whatever. I see too many of that, and I never get in the click. And so
Me.
I want women to come together and know that you don't have to have something for a BMW for me to like. You don't have to have a Porsche or a Range Rover, but your heart has to be pure. Your heart has to be right. That's all I require. heart need to be right with me.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? I ain't require you to have a big house on the hill and all this other status thing or a doctor behind your name. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for your heart. What
Amen.
does your
Right.
heart say? You understand? And that's
Right.
where we
Mhm.
women are, because we've been hurt too much. We've been done it,
Mhm.
put dirt too much. We've been
Yeah.
done wrong too much, stabbed in the back, people taking our ideas, people using us for what they can get and then slapping us down. You know, we've been done that too long. So it's time to change the narrative.
Mhm.
That's old school. That's old. They did that when we were 16, and I want a part of it.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
growing up as a mother and sister, that was young. That's young stuff. You know, we we grown.
Right.
You understand? We got grown bills over here. We got a mortgages and rent and stuff that ain't
Yes,
no,
Lord.
it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So, if you ladies have something to say before we go, I want to give the floor to you guys before we go. And I don't want to keep you long, but I just enjoyed this. I enjoyed this, and I can't wait to love on you. And I got each one of you something on Saturday. So that's just me. That's my heart.
Yeah.
So I got the floor. You want to say something before we go? And Mom Maddie, I love you. I love you, Reverend Maddie. I call her Mom Maddie, y'all. She's my mom. She probably gonna text me good night already. She in the bed, but she stayed up for me. She stayed up for me. But you guys have anything you want to share before we go?
I just want to say, just continue to stay encouraged and just, continue pushing forward and understand that defeat is not your destination, but continue to walk in your purpose
Yeah.
because that's God's plan for your life. So that's all I got.
Awesome. Awesome. Doctor.
She spoke for me. Yeah. That's
Well, you guys, I do want to thank you for coming on. I do want that you can share this with your page. If you need a copy, just let me know. I can't wait to see y'all on Saturday. We're gonna have a ball. We're gonna have a ball.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a ball. And I'm letting the Holy Spirit move. And so we ain't got no agenda. I do go by a couple things, just to read a little couple things, but we just gonna go let God lead. And so I do can't wait to see y'all. And you guys have a blessed night. And I'm finna get me something to eat myself. Good night, ladies. Good night.